Okay, so what I'm going to be trying out today, and this will be an experiment to see if it works, is these Necross Daleks released in the latest B&M set at the time of recording this, which is 12th of October. So yeah, I've been meaning to do this for a while, but these Daleks, as well as over there, the Guest Zone Dalek, should be in a glossy finish. However, despite the Necross one, when it was previously released, being in the correct gloss, this one has more of a satin finish, more of a matte satin finish. So, to resolve that, where is it? I've got this, which is clear gloss spray paint. Now, I've previously had some good success with this because I previously, if you watch my other channel, used this to restore the nose on my left-handed grommet mug. So yeah, now if I wanted to be very, quick with this, I could just, remove the plunger, which, to be honest, looking at that plunger, it could really do with another boiling water for a bit. But to be honest, the plunger sculpt on the Daleks and that is damaged, unfortunately, the actual sculpt on one of them, and that you can see like there's little indentations and stuff like that. And if we remove the gun, which will eventually come out, so yeah, what I could do if I wanted to be really quick about this is just tape up the eye like that and tape up the slacks, I guess, and just spray it like that. However, I'm not going to do this like that. I'm actually going to go a little bit further because, to be honest, I want to remove the eye on this anyway to help straighten it out again by sticking it in boiling water. So what I'm going to do is remove these 4 screws and that's on the base here. Which is actually pretty quick and straightforward, especially if you've got an electric screwdriver. Believe me, if you don't have an electric precision screwdriver and you take apart Daleks, or just in general, you should really have one because it saves an awful lot of time. There we go. 3 screws. And the 4th one as well. There we go. Obviously, with the Guest Zone Dalek, I'm debating whether bothering to do that one in the gloss, and the reason is because this has so many more issues. Obviously, the eye is incorrect, the gun is incorrect, it doesn't have the oval. Apparently, allegedly, I should say, the reason for this is because Aldoir, rather than, basing it on actual pictures of the actual prop, he basically based it on an incomplete fang build. Yeah. He apparently based the figure on an incomplete fang build. Which I completely believe, because in the past, Aldoir has admitted himself that he has based figures off photoshops people have done and didn't realise that they were photoshops. Yeah. Like, for example, good example is the Hartnell from the Sengserite set. By the way, there we go, that comes off very nice and easily. That had the wrong coloured trousers. It should have just had the grey trousers because that was based on a colourised photo that someone had done, but who had got the trousers incorrect. So, yeah. But there we go. That's one screw, the silver screw, which is the screw for the dome here. And now the dome will just pop off like that. So yeah. So the domes on here themselves are basically exactly the same. The only difference is basically this piece of plastic here, you can see, is actually a bit longer. And basically the reason for that is to obviously have the extra bits. What I'm going to do is actually, to save a bit of time as well, is take apart these so I can do these separately as well, because then it'll mean I won't need to mask off the mesh separately. Either I can just simply put a bit of masking over there. So yeah, all these can can be done separately. There you can see the last band, which I think should also be, yeah, that last band also comes off like that. So you can see there the extra rim, and that just comes off quite nicely like that, and you can see the rest of the Dalek itself is exactly the same as it was previously, just with this piece of plastic at the top where the dome pivots is slightly taller. That is the only difference. This one teeny tiny piece of plastic is the only difference in the construction of this Dalek. So yeah, I could remove the slacks, though to be honest, for me that's going to be more pain than it's worth, because then I'd have to boil and pop them on and off. So I've got this tape here, this masking tape, which is quite thin masking tape, though actually in my case actually a really good size. Yeah, it's about the perfect type of size to cover these slats actually, so yeah, that'll cover the slacks quite nicely there. If I get it all, I should show you what I'm doing. If I get it all in, just suck it all up. Again, since it's clear gloss, I'm not too bothered if anything, you know, gets on anything else and that too much, because again it's clear gloss. But yeah, I should be able to do this one entirely and that with on camera. There we go, just tuck that within there. Gonna tear as much as I can off this end piece here. Stuff it in there. So there you can see all the back side of the slacks and that are covered. The front side is a bit more of a tricky one. I'll tackle, because what I'm going to have to do is half the size of the tape and that, and then haphazardly sort of spray them. Actually, it's not too bad so far. What did I just do with my tape, anyone? There it is. Yeah, let's do teeny little bits. Just going to cover it, and then the whole thing should be quite easily covered. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So yeah, it saves me taking off the slats and then having to mask all that off. It's just easier to put some masking tape and that on the slacks. Dome I'll do separately, but it's got a piece of cardboard here, and what I'm going to do now is basically I'm going to go and spray it. Yeah, I'm going to go off and spray it, and I might bring the camera with me, I might not. We'll see how it goes, because it's difficult to spray it and also film and act it at the same time, so it'll probably have to be a before and after thing, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I just sprayed the Dalek itself by literally just holding it by that section, and I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but yeah, it hasn't dried yet, but it shows up pretty well. Yeah, it actually gives it a nice sort of gloss finish. Obviously, I gotta wait for that to dry. I think a little bit I went a little bit overboard, because I had to spray a part of it again, because a couple of pieces of dust dropped on it, which yeah is really bloody irritating. But yeah, hopefully that should dry off on that. Now to fart on with the dome, which again has two screws in it holding that section in, so I'm gonna remove them. I'll put those bits there. There's one. And there's the other. And this is the delicate bit, because I don't know if you can see, there's a rod just there, and we're going to get that rod out. Getting that rod out and getting it back in is bloody difficult. It's not too bad getting it out, actually. It's getting it back in. luckily I've got some little tweezers here, so I should be able to, there we go, just pull that itty bitty rod out with the tweezers there, and then the eye is free, and yeah, it's slightly bent there, so again, to be honest, you don't really need to stick these in boiling water, to be honest. Yeah, now I'm debating whether doing the dome lights or not, covering them, because is there a point? But what I might do is grab the teeniest tiny bit of blue tack there, and just cover it like that. And I think blue tack will hold a bit better, to be honest. Yeah, just cover them in a teeny tiny bit of blue tack. Mob that on there like that. And do the same with the other. Again, it only has to be a teeny tiny bit of blue tack. Just enough to cover it. Again, it doesn't matter too much whether they get a bit of gloss on them, but still. So there we go, so there's that dome. So what I'm going to do, where's that piece of cardboard I had? So, got a bit of cardboard here, I'm just going to lie them all on here, along with, where's it, 1, 2, 3 neck rings and that, so spray them up, and yeah, there we go. I might do a bit less, because I think I did a little bit too much excessive on that one. The good news is, obviously, there's 2 per one, and that, and I picked the one with the worst plunger and that out of the 2 of them. So yeah, plus I've got another one which over there, and that couple I still haven't opened. So yeah, we'll see how those go. So I've just, as you can see, sprayed these, and yeah, they've turned out really well. I'm just going to leave them there for a bit. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing the underside of these. I don't know, I'll see how it looks, because the underside of them you don't really see as much since they're ridged and rimmed. But what I'm going to do now is stick these in some boiling water, so let's go do that. Alright, so we're in the kitchen. I think you can hear the kettle boiling. I'm having to hold this camera awkwardly because unfortunately I've misplaced my camera grip, which is also a mini tripod, so yeah, but basically I've got them in this little cup here, and to be honest, I'm just going to put the boiling water in and just, I don't think I'll even bother shaping them, because normally I would hold them in and then I'd shape them out, but what I'm going to do is basically just leave them in there, and they hopefully should naturally just go to their original shape. So yeah, I'm going to boil, the kettle's boiling now, and hopefully they should turn out and that alright. So yeah, again though, with the B&M ones, you don't really need to use boiling water. It depends how bad they are as well, like. But generally, hot water from a tap is normally good enough, and that for this. Kettle's boiled. Just gonna put a little bit in there. There we go, just a teeny tiny bit. I think I overfilled that kettle. But if I get the camera around, you can see the dishes, which it's someone else's turn to do because I did them yesterday. Yeah, but yeah, you can just about see them, and that's in there at the bottom there. So I'm just gonna leave them in there, and hopefully things will. I might actually manually straighten them out and that, but I'll leave them in there to soften that enough for them to then put them in the correct shape. So yeah. Alright, so you can hopefully just see them there. I did actually just fish them out after a bit, and yeah, still not perfectly straight. That plunger is difficult to get the plunger perfectly straight, but everything else I was able to straighten out pretty good. And yeah, I'm just going to let these cool off there. Although if you don't or can't be bothered to have the time to basically wait for them to cool off, if you literally just, after you've shaped them, run them under the cold tap while holding them, that is a quick way to do that. But yeah, I'll just leave them there to, you know, cool off, and hopefully then keep their shape, and then when the Daleks dried off and that, reinstall them in the Dalek. So yeah. Just also quickly note, I've just masked off the bottom bit of the base and that, and I'm quickly going to do that, though that'll be an extremely quick one, and just so the top bits and that matches, so yeah, gonna quickly go off and do that as well. Okay, so let's get the Dalek and see how it is now. So the Dalek itself is pretty much dried off. And the dome, I think, needs a little bit longer, but it's a good. But this is a good comparison to do between the two of them. And yeah, just looking at that, I didn't go too overboard with it, thankfully. Maybe a little bit around this section right here, but otherwise, like, the differences and that, I think it looks much better. But yeah, the neck rings themselves, obviously I didn't bother doing the struts on the neck rings. To be honest, I could have just left out the neck rings because you have to really look to see a difference in them. But yeah, with the Dalek itself, there it looks, yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. And yeah, I'm gonna, before I put any appendages on or anything, I'm gonna go grab the gun and go grab the dome, see if the dome's done now. So yeah. Alright, so here is the eyes back in, and this was an absolute nightmare to put back in, more than usual, and I think it's because the hole on the new eye stalks for the rod to go through is smaller. It is smaller, because it used to be a lot looser than it used to be, but on these ones, on this new eye, it is really, really stiff. Like, I had a bit of trouble getting it out, but even more getting it in there, I needed to fight with the tweezers to hold them to put it in, because I tried using my fingers and it just wouldn't go in. I can't remember whether that was installed the right way around initially, because sometimes those bits of plastic are also installed the wrong way. But yeah, if I just put the dome there, I'm hoping I didn't bend the eye in that during it, but no, it still looks pretty straight. Again, just looking at that, like, that does look better. Again, I probably went slightly overboard, maybe, I don't know. It looks alright, to be honest. I think I did better on this side than I did this side. This side I went a little bit too much. I think this side I did just the right amount. So yeah, if you are gonna do this, use as little as possible. Or, again, since it's clear gloss, if you go overboard, it's not too bad anyway. If I get this blue tack off. Oop. There we go, got a blue tack off that bit. And if it gets off my finger, get the blue tack off the other dome light. Which, oh yeah, I haven't put the screw in yet. Figgly. But yeah, I recommend using blue tack for this, because it is much easier than trying to get masking tape around this. Yeah, still a tiny bit of blue tack on, but I'll get that off later. I can see that, and I'm just trying to get it off now. There we go. So there we go. So now what I've got to do is put the dome back on and get the silver screw. Although they are all the same screw. The one for the dome is just silver for some reason. Put it on the end of the screwdriver. And it fell off the screwdriver. Yeah, unfortunately I don't think these are magnetic screws, unfortunately, so I'm trying to get it to sit in the dome. But it ain't wanna cooperate. It don't wanna cooperate. I wonder if I just hold it like this. Like that, and just gently put it in. Oh, there we go, it fell into place, great. Great, it fell into place. And now all I have to do is press a button. And yeah, that's maybe a little bit tighter. yeah, it's about right. It's good. That's good. That's lovely jubbly. Not too loose, not too tight. Yeah. I should probably... How come whenever I do anything, it's literally a juggling act? So, yeah. But there we go. There's that in. And let's peel the tape off. I might as well do that now. Because, yeah, I'm not doing the slats. I'm not bothering to do the slats, to be honest. I think they would look a little bit too odd with it. Plus, also, I find that the clear gloss spray paint doesn't work very well with the slats. And I'll tell you why, because if you remember the custom destroyed Dalek I did, where I painted the slats with the same paint, initially it was fine, but then after like a month later, it then became a bit sticky again, and it kind of then dried off, but then became sticky again and then dried off. So that's why I'm avoiding doing the slats on these. Well, to be honest, I think it looks alright. It still looks a lot better. It looks a lot better. And you know what? I'll go grab the base and see if the base is done. So yeah, this is the thing I was talking about. These types, in fact. There's the silver one off of 4. But yeah, these work very well on the Dalek itself. But the slats, since it's made of a softer PVC, they don't seem to work in that as well. But I mean, they do work. It doesn't rub off, but yeah, be as that as you may. The fender looks pretty good. Take the tape off that. Throw that away. So yeah, I think the fender may have turned out the best because I put, I think, the least amount on that. So we'll just pop the base on. There we go, and now we've just got the 4 screws left. And if you're wondering why I'm showing all these little bits and that rather than cut, this is not really an instructional thing. I mean, it's basically just me just documenting what I'm doing and acting so other people can have a go, or if I fuck up with something, they know where to avoid or what to avoid doing, which is why I document these completely as much as I can. The only thing I couldn't really show is the painting process, and the reason is because essentially for you to be able to see would mean I won't be able to see what I'm doing, unfortunately. So yeah, the painting aspect, yeah, unfortunately I can't really show that bit. However, I can say basically, obviously, shake the can and that a lot before using it, and usually hold it about a foot away, or 30 centimetres and that, and just like that. I think that was a very, very scientific way of explaining it, but yeah, just do it in bits and that. But I think, to be honest, he nearly lost that screw because I wasn't paying attention there, see? It wouldn't have mattered really because it's the last one. And yeah. The screws are slightly magnetic, but not very much. I think because also their size. You can also use this as a manual screwdriver as well. I'm just using it manual there because that one's a little bit stiff. There we go, and all we're going to do now is pop back on the gun. Which, again, oh god, it really doesn't want to go on that ball joint. It really doesn't. And the plunger, which, yeah, despite straightening it out, is still, when it's fully cooled off and that, it still bent itself back into that position. That went in pretty well. It's maybe slightly better than it was, but yeah, it's not a very good one, this. But yeah, there we go. So now we can properly do an A/B comparison on that with these two Daleks. So yeah, I definitely say I'm very happy with this. I'll probably end up doing it with this one and that as well, to have a glossy pair. yeah, this one, I don't know if I'll go to the same extent with this one. I don't know. I might try something else. You know what? Before this video ends, what I'm going to do is try the masking tape method to see if that's what results that gains. And that. But yeah, I'm going to try a simple masking tape method where rather than taking it all apart, I'm going to cover the eye. I'm going to completely cover the eye stalk because the eyes are not glossy on these Daleks. So there we go, cover the eye stalk, remove the plunger. Gun, no, the gun does not want to come out. There we go. There we go. So yeah, to avoid screws and figgliness, because it is quite figgly, get a bit of that blue tack again. And just quickly pop it over the dome lights. There. I didn't quite halve that evenly. Again, it doesn't matter too much. There we go. There we go. What I could do also, if I wanted to just do the slacks individually and that as well, and avoid the mesh, is basically spray a bit of spray paint onto some cardboard or whatever, and then do it like that if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm just doing this method just so for people. I know some people do not want to take their Dalek apart, and fair enough. Okay, here's a figgly. What I'm going to do with this is do what I did last time and just tear it down the middle and that as evenly as I possibly could without it bloody sticking to itself. Alright, so that bit is stuck to itself, unfortunately. So we're gonna line this up. I'm doing this rather quickly because I didn't actually plan to do this bit. I was just going to do this one off camera and that as well, but I'm curious to see how the other method would look. So you can see that I've just masked that bit off there, and tear that bit off, and mask the rest of it there. And there's just one little strip to do. So yeah, we shall see how this turns out. We will see how it turns out. This may actually be a quicker, better, easier way, or it could fail. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, I'm doing it on my Dalek, so you don't have to. I mean, I'm not gonna ruin it, basically. Like, normally I wouldn't bother trying this, but, you know, I know I'm not gonna ruin it because, well, it's just getting a clear gloss, so basically I'll have a glossy Dalek no matter what. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, there we go. There we go, all masked off. I'm just gonna put that down and we'll go spray it, so yeah. Alright, so here it is, about 45 minutes-ish later. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. In fact, just comparing it, yeah, I think it turned out maybe slightly better than the other one this time around. There's a little bit still better than this one, a little bit still better than that one. But yeah, let's remove the masking tape without. He says this masking tape does not want to come away. Really doesn't want to come away, this masking tape. Look at that, it really doesn't want to come away. What brand is this masking tape? Oh, it's Scotch. That's why it's good masking tape. It's so good it doesn't want to bloody come back off. Yeah, it just doesn't want to come off there. Let's see, can I pull it apart? Ugh. What is Bobby barking about? Oh god, come on. Let's see if I can get my scissors in there. And give it a little snip. There we go, I think I did it. There we go. Oh my god. There we go, just take the blue sack. And that off the Daleks as well. Hang like hey presto, there we go. And then this one comes off very easily. Yeah, I forgot to put this on in the actual bit just before, but I realised just before I was starting to put it on, it's just like, oh yeah, I was meant to put that on. And oh, around the bottom as well. But yeah, since I only put a very small amount of that on, it dries very quickly. You can see this plunger, which I haven't boiled, and this one I haven't put in boiling water, and look how like misshapen it is. It doesn't look too bad on camera, but in reality it bends a bit one way and then bends the other way a bit. Yeah, it's a bit fucked up. Doesn't look too bad actually once it's in there. And then the gun, this one's actually pretty straight, this gun. If it ever wants to go in, there we go. So yeah, and also, okay, there was maybe a little bit there, maybe a hemisphere there where it went. But yeah, there we go. There we go, people. So we have not one, but two correctly glossy Necross Daleks. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do about the slacks and that. I think I'll just leave them as is, but they still look, to me at least, they look a lot better and a lot more accurate to the actual props now than they did before. So yeah, don't know. Maybe in future I might just do the mask off method because it was a lot quicker. It was a lot quicker than taking the full thing apart and that, so I don't know. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and hooray. I'm still debating on whether or not bothering with this one, because this one has so many problems in that of its own, and that, I don't know, maybe another time possibly. Might just be a YouTube short if I end up doing it. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go.